Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Leo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as July goes, the Sun will be in Cancer from the 1st until the 23rd, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on one's limitations, restrictions, secret sorrows, self-undoing, an aunt and uncle even, solitude, seclusion, those less fortunate than yourself, mental illness in some cases, and hidden adversaries. Now, given that this is Cancerian energy, this may be done with a lot of care and diligence, dedication, devotion, done for reasons connected with safety and security, perhaps especially with matters from hidden adversaries, such as a good home alarm system. Um, and also done with a lot of sympathy, a lot of nurturing energy. Now, in some cases, this could shine the light, so to speak, on a Cancerian hidden enemy. It could be a Cancer Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian characteristics. In some cases, it could be shining the light or focusing on a Cancerian type mental illness. If you want to call compulsive hoarding that, you might want to look that up to see if that's what could be one that could be qualified for that, but it could be something maybe like that, or something, or just a strong emotional, moody type of an illness where there's a lot of wide mood swings, but this could be very isolated. This is something too where if you want, this could also indicate in some cases a limitation with an eye. Given that the Sun rules either the left or the right eye, depending on gender. It could be one of those moody, temperamental situations where it feels like working one time, then the next time it doesn't, or maybe something just Cancerian energy is like feeling energy. So perhaps it could be something where it just it doesn't feel. There's something about it with a sensation which just doesn't feel right. May need to be looked at. So anyway, next thing up. As far as July goes, the Sun will be in Leo from the 23rd until the 31st, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on the self, self-interest, new beginnings, a grandmother even, the physical body. It could also be the outlook on life, the outer demeanor, how you come across to others, and also even the vitality and the energy, even early childhood. It could be on a person or people that you may have known from your early childhood. Now, given that this is Leo energy, a lot of these matters may be done with a lot of pride and dignity, a lot of confidence and self-assuredness, even a very extroverted manner and in gregarious manner, but yet could be very extravagant as well, and done with a lot of that real courage and ferocity as well. Now, in some cases, this may shine the light, so to speak, on the Leo health-related issues, such as something with the upper back or the heart in some cases, but this could be a very good period for very strong vitality and exorbitant energy. Leo often has nearly inexorable and indefatigable energy, but it might even be stronger at this time when you're talking about the Sun and the first house and indeed Leo. So anyway, next thing up. There will be a new moon solar eclipse in Cancer on July 2nd, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, in some cases, this could be about the completion or culmination or ending, maybe of helping someone that was less fortunate than yourself, or someone you felt couldn't help themselves. It could have been done with a lot of nurturing and empathetic and sympathetic energy. It might be a time where you decided that that person does need to help his or herself, and this could be a very monumental point in your life. You may have been taking care of this person for a very protracted period, and maybe now it finally comes to an end. Enough is enough. Some cases, and very isolated, it could be a beginning of a new Cancerian type mental illness, or some strong restriction or limitation, or It could be something, or just simply could be, or something, maybe a very moody type situation, or is something that involves very strong vacillating energy and mood swings. It could even be something like compulsive hoarding in some isolated cases, but a lot of this will be dependent and predicated on aspects as makes, and if there's things in your own chart or other transits that might reaffirm something like this. It could be a time too where in some cases, this could be the departure of a Cancerian dominant male person. It could have been an authority figure or some other dominant male Cancerian in your life. It could have been somebody that you thought might have been inhibiting you or restricting you in some way, shape, or form. It could be maybe somebody that maybe played a very strong role maybe in your private life. In some cases, it could be an uncle, since we're talking about the 12th house. This could be a person too that maybe, now another way this could manifest, this could be in some cases, given we're talking about the solar eclipse, it could be something very monumental that may start. It could be in some cases the start of a home or family business with an aunt or uncle, or doing something where you're beginning to do something with a lot of tenacious Cancerian energy, maybe in a 12th house type profession, such as the metaphysical, which includes astrology or photography or chemistry, anything that could be 12th house related. And sometimes too, this could be, again, going back to the departure of a dominant Cancerian male. It could be somebody that might have been figuring prominently, sadly, in your secret sorrows. Or even it could be, in some cases, this could be the beginning or arrival, in some cases, I believe, of a Cancerian dominant person that might actually be playing a role, maybe for the better in terms of your limitations or restrictions, or anything that could be 12th house related. So anyway, and well, the next thing up is there will be a full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn on July 16th. So the sixth house is what we emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, this could indicate, in some cases, could be a revelation or unveiling of a very strong Capricorn health-related issue. It could be something very life-altering. It could be something connecting. It could be the hamstring, the knees, the bones, or the joints, or just simply a very limiting or inhibiting health-related issue. Now, in some cases, this could be about the departure of a dominant Capricorn female person that was in maybe your daily routine. In some cases, it could be an aunt. It could be somebody that was prominent in your employment, or somebody you might have provided service to. It could also be a time too where maybe this ending and something ends where you were giving some kind of consistent laborious service to others, or maybe it's a time where you might end a Capricorn employment situation or scenario that you've been part of for a very prolonged or protracted period. It could be something connected with dentistry, accounting, even information technology, business, politics, general mundane work, even timekeeping, something in a general business. It could also be about, in some cases, that, I mean, the moon could rule. It rules either the left or right eye, depending on gender. This could be about some revelation about an eye issue in some cases, which could be, in some cases, if you're an older person, it could just be something through some deterioration through old age. And nonetheless, Capricorn energy could be very limiting and inhibiting. So it could be something very limiting and inhibiting one way or the other. Next thing up, Mercury will be in Leo as far as July goes, from the 1st until the 19th. So the first house is what we emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, you might come across as more voluble, more loquacious than usual, perhaps boasting strongly about yourself. And maybe at this time too, you could be talking with a lot of confidence and self-assuredness regarding new beginnings at this time, and maybe even matters with your physical body. It could be also as well. Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Leo traits that might figure more prominently in your new beginnings, your outlook, your appearance, maybe making a first impression on someone. It could also be about dealing with know-it-all neighbors. I mean, Mercury can also be connected with neighbors. Being Leo, it could be arrogant, very domineering neighbors or siblings. Or, no, I'm sorry, I mean siblings, I mean neighbors that think they know what's best for you in terms of maybe new starts or new beginnings, or how you should look, how you should appear, what you need, how you should come across to others. So hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, this could also be about, in some cases, you might be dealing with some dramatic issues with your hands. Mercury could be connected with that, or even dominating conversations, perhaps with a grandmother or someone you knew from your early childhood. So those are some ways that could manifest. Now, it could also be about talking a lot about perhaps Leo new beginnings, such as something with entertainment, cardiology, acting, being an actress or actor, or doing something connected with promoting items. Leo energy likes to boast about things and build things up, sports or golf, anything that could be Leo related. Next thing up, Mercury will be in Cancer as far as July goes, from the 19th until the 31st. It will be retrograde, and the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you might find yourself reminiscing and really contemplating, really going back maybe to past secret sorrows that really were perhaps very hurtful. You might be at this time to guard against thinking in the past too much, because it could be the self-undoing. This could be a time to, again, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Cancerian traits. Might be driving you figuratively crazy at this time. Might even be tied into your secret sorrows in some cases, but at the same time might be helping you deal with some kind of limitation or restriction in your life, and maybe even trying to help you weed out hidden enemies or hidden adversaries. You might be less loquacious and voluble than usual, but really more in terms of your introverted conversation, so to speak, the ones in private. You might be more talkative and loquacious, and also speak, really your mind might be thinking very sympathetically in terms of maybe helping those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the hungry, the oppressed, or homeless. Anyway, next thing up, Venus will be in Gemini as far as July goes, from the 1st until the 3rd, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you might find yourself valuing loquaciousness, variety, versatility, diversity, dexterity, even intellectual stimulations with friends, with acquaintances, group involvements. It could be a time to, Leo, if you're unattached, you may connect with a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Gemini characteristics. It could be somebody you meet in some kind of group-related activity or club or organization. Maybe it could be someone through social media. It could be somebody that was a friend where it escalates into something stronger. And also about maybe the enjoyment of Gemini-like things connected with intellectual stimulation, mental games, games that require mental agility, Tetris, Haiku, playing Scrabble, word games, brain teasers. You may be enjoying these things more so than usual with friends, with acquaintances, people online, perhaps playing these kind of online games if available. Now, also, too, you might find yourself doing something at this time where you could find a way where you might be enjoying variety of artwork. If you are artistically inclined, it could be in some group-related activity or with friends. And also be careful too that you're not, Gemini energy can sometimes be about vicariousness, so just be careful that you're not enjoying maybe vicariously living through others' goals and aspirations, or maybe things that your friends that have done or your acquaintances have done at this time, and you focus on your own at this time. So anyway, last but not least, Venus will be in Cancer as far as July goes from the 3rd until the 18th. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, one way this may manifest, it could be a clandestine relationship, some cases with a Cancer Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian traits. You might be experiencing some financial restrictions and limitations. It might be due to maybe family or home related expenses. You might be more inclined to value safety and security in terms of guarding yourself perhaps against hidden adversaries. And also too, this could be a time too where you might find yourself valuing Cancerian things such as safety, security, being protective, tenacity, diligence and dedication, and even expressing sympathy to those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, and the hungry. Now, in some cases, a Cancerian relationship perhaps will drive you figuratively crazy, and also in some cases, if you're inclined to hoard to begin with, you might be somebody that might be enjoying some kind of hoarding very secretly at this time. So, I mean, in some negative situations, because Cancerian energy can be connected with that, and of course Venus could be about what one may enjoy. Let's say if this is making an adverse aspect to your natal Pluto, it could be a very compulsive situation as well. So anyway, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Leo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Leo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.